Alright friends, once again wishing you all a very happy good evening at day 16 of Data Analytics Bootcamp. Fine. As usual, hoping you are fine every day, working, learning, studying back at home. As my professionals, friends who are here, who are the students who are here connected, everyone. Okay, since we are here today for a great topic, in fact a little advanced topic, let's quickly have a recap of what we have seen the day yesterday. We started with exception handling, correct? That was another important topic. There was quite a difference between errors and exception. Right? Errors are caused by the programmer, but exceptions are raised by the computer due to some internal event. Okay, for example, there is no syntax error, but you can still not divide a numerator by 0. That will cause division by 0 error. Is that correct? Fine. So even though that there is no syntax error, but the program still failed, that is because of your exception. Similarly, there were different types of exceptions. Some of them we dealt with yesterday, like type exception, name exception. Is it right? Oh, so many other exceptions. Hoping a value exception, key exceptions, and then index out of bound exception, and so on. The list goes on. Right. Okay. We tried exception handling with try except block. Is that correct? Try and then except block. We also learned the use of try with except and else block. We also tried understanding the keyword finally, which executes after try except in Python. In case if you have missed out our session yesterday or any other day of the bootcamp, please go through the channel. You'll find the recording of all. Okay, fine. Anyways, the class today we are here for connectivity of Python with MySQL. Alright, quickly to introduce you all, MySQL is a backend application. Alright, it's a free tool. You can create tables and databases using MySQL. Alright, but after 4 or 5 days we are going to start entire series of MySQL itself. So today I will be only using MySQL. How to install, how to download, from where to download, how to go into the depth of MySQL, its queries, its features, etc. That we will see during MySQL bootcamp session. Today we will use MySQL only till what is required. Alright, please feel free to ask any question, put them in the comment section. I would be glad to answer you back. Hoping you are understanding. Okay, here we go. This is MySQL installed in my system, if you could see. Okay, let me show you this one. Yeah, this is MySQL. Right, if you expand MySQL, you will find its utility called as MySQL Workbench. For those of my friends who can't wait till MySQL to start and download and install, you can simply type download MySQL for Windows, and if you're working on Apple system, then download MySQL for Mac and all. Fine, you can easily download it from the very first or second link available. That's official website of MySQL. Alright, download it, just keep on saying double click, next and finish. Alright, a little proper installation steps I'll be guiding you, but today is not a correct time, so let's go ahead from there. Once MySQL is installed, you will find a tool called as MySQL Workbench. Workbench is a place in MySQL where we create tables and databases. समझ रहे आप बात? MySQL is a place. MySQL is a tool of MySQL. Workbench is a tool of MySQL where we create tables and databases. MySQL में table database Workbench में बनता है. ठीक है. Fine. So I click to Workbench. To your strange surprise, as soon as Workbench is launched, it will ask you one question. It's not like other ordinary software. और जैसे ही MySQL वर्कबेंच ओपन होता है आपको एक क्वेश्चन पूछता है. Let it be launched. Meanwhile, I check is there any question from my side. Okay, good. I hope it's open. Yep, it's open. Fine. This is workbench. Alright, this is workbench. All that you have to do is you have to click to my connection. Can you see the small plus sign here? I cancel this. MySQL connections, and you will have a plus sign. That's create a new connection in MySQL. Don't worry, I'm going to go into the depth of this. What is connection? What do you mean by creating a connection? Today, just learn MySQL for Python's sake. I'll click here. You just have to give some name to your connection. Say I give the name as day 16. It can be any name, ABCXYZ. Just remember the user for whom you created the connection. It's root. Root is an administrator of MySQL. If I'm not wrong, there are two types of account, local account and admin account. Local user has less privilege, administrator has more privilege. Okay, fine. Just say test connection. It asks you for the password. Okay, you enter your password, I will enter mine. This password is set at the time of installation. Okay, if the password is correct, it says a successful MySQL connection was made. Nothing to be changed here. What is port number, what is the other host name and all, we have time to discuss about it. Don't worry, we have time to go. Just say okay. You will find your connection here, say day 16. Alright, just click to it if it is successfully created and you are done. You will be inside MySQL workbench. Look, this is workbench. Alright, so that point of surprise was MySQL is account protected application. MySQL यूज करने के लिए, उसके अंदर जाने के लिए आपको पहला लॉगिन लेना पड़ता है. It's unlike your Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint or Notepad, to whom you just double click and it becomes accessible to be used. Alright, but I would be glad if someone present here could answer me, please. Are you understanding or not? Alright. Anyways, please put it put your acknowledgement in the comment section. I'll read meanwhile in between. Fine. Okay. Now you will see here left side panel. Okay, that is called as schemas. Okay. Administration and schema. We right click anywhere inside schema and we say create schema. Schema is a database. Okay, create schema. Say name of the schema is day 16. Alright, and I say apply, finish. You find the schema by the same name here. Okay, that is day 16. That means we have created a database. This could be done by writing query also, create database and the database name like this. Okay, create database and the database name, say new database, something like that. All that you have to do is click this button to execute the query. Check the log box here. Green tick shows the query has been executed successfully. So you right click in the left side panel and create a new database, or you write a query and create a new database. Hoping you are understanding. Alright, fine. I'm going to use this database, that is day 16. whichever database you are going to use, before creating table, make sure that you have written use and the name of the database, that is day 16. Okay, mind you, this should be done before creating a table. Okay, this should be done before creating a table. Which database you want to use to create a table must be clearly mentioned. So use day 16. Check it out, the query has been executed. Alright, if you want me to repeat something, please kindly put it into the chat box. I'll be very happy to answer you that. Okay, you want me to slow down somewhere, you can ask me for that as well. Hoping you are understanding. Okay, so किस database के अंदर आपको table बनाना है, उस database का नाम ऐसे लिखते हैं, use that particular database. ठीक है ना. How to create a table? Okay, database contains tables. So I want to create a student table. The table has hardly 3 columns: student's roll number, name and class. Okay, roll number of the student, name of the student and the class of the student. How to do that? In MySQL we have an SQL query called as create table. Okay, followed by table name. Say table name is student. And in this opening closing round brackets, we are going to define the column of the student table. Right? If you're finding the font size very small, let me first write roughly on the notepad. This is a PL/SQL query to create a table. Right? We say create table student. Student नाम का table बनाओ. In the round bracket we define the columns of the table. But how? First we write name of the column, say roll number, followed by data type of the column. If roll number is going to contain numbers only, you will write here int. If roll number is made up of numbers and letters, that is a string, then you can use the data type varchar. Alright, fine. There are many more data types of MySQL. Many more data types. You can use boolean, you can use float, you can use double, many of date and time. But today we'll stick only to integer and varchar. That is number and string. Are you understanding? I would be glad and grateful to you if you write in the comment section yes or no. Okay, आपको समझ रहा है कि नहीं. इसमें से कोई चीज आप repeat करना चाहते हैं तो we would be glad to do that again. Fine. So only 2 data types we are playing today. One is an integer, another is string. Correct. So roll number, it's an integer, and student's name, let me call it as S name, that is student name, which is varchar. Varchar means string. Whenever you declare string in MySQL, you have to give length of the string. String maximum length 10. That means you cannot enter a name whose length is more than 10. Alright. If you think that your name is more than 10, or maybe I want to write name, surname, middle name, everything, then please increase the length of the string. I made it 100. Of course, you will make it something that makes sense. Okay. Fine. So roll number is an integer. Name, it's a string whose length is 100. Alright, and what I say the next one? Class. Okay, student class. Let me write the column as S class, that is student class, which is again a string of the length 10. Let me reduce the string, length of the string. Make sure that your query always ends with a semicolon, because semicolon in MySQL ends the query. Alright, like in English language sentence in an English language has a full stop. Similarly, semicolon is to declare the end of the PL/SQL query. Alright, fine. I simply copy this query and I paste it here. That is in the workbench. Alright, let me say run this query. Okay, if there are multiple queries, better you select which one to run. Oh, good. It shows me green tick. that means table created successfully. You have to read this action output box whether table could be created also or not. If you once again try to run this, it's going to show you an error. Why? Because table by this name already exists. स्टूडेंट नाम की टेबल ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग है, तो इस नाम से आप दोबारा बनाने जाएंगे आपको एरर आएगा. Either you change the name of the table or you drop the existing table first before creating table by the same name. Is that clear? Fine. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, Kalyana. Good evening, please. Good evening to you as well. Alright. Fine. Kalyana, if you have joined us late, we are learning how to connect MySQL with Python. Okay. Anyways, now how to make sure that the table actually got created also or not. भाई table बना भी के नहीं, कैसे पता चलेगा? Alright. See, under day 16 database, you will have a table option as a database object. You have to check here, but since it can't show me anything here, just once refresh. Can you see the small two inverted comma kind of arrows? Okay, that's for refresh. Alright, the student table is here. Correct. You can open this table by writing query like this. Select star from student. That means open the student table or select all the columns from the student table. Okay. So if I could run this, the table is opened here as a grid. Can you see? But unfortunately it doesn't show any data. So of course it won't show the data because we have not inserted any rows in the table, right? So let's learn how to insert a record in the table by writing a simple query. So to insert a record or row in the table, we say insert into student values. Let me write once this in a big font and a notepad, then I'll paste it. Insert into student values. Alright, now if there are 3 columns, you have to follow the column sequence as per the definition. Like roll number is an integer, you can't write name first. You cannot insert class then and roll number in the end. Okay, so first value to be inserted in the row will be roll number. Second value to be inserted in the row will be the name. And the third value to be inserted in this row will be the class of the student. Only one thing that you have to remember here is, this would be too early to teach you because we have not yet started with MySQL. वो पूरे 10 दिन का MySQL training आना बाकी है. ठीक है. Before that, still try to understand. If it is an integer you are trying to insert, say roll number 1. We always insert the integer without any quote. Quote people, single quote or double quote. But if it is a string, that is where it has to be inserted in quotes. It's the name of the student is John. John is a string. That's the reason it was enclosed in quote. Class of the student, say John is a student of first year BCom. So FY BCom. First year BCom. John is a student of first year BCom. अरे भाई first year BCom कोई numeric data नहीं है. It's a string. That's the reason it needs to be enclosed. Okay. Make sure semicolon is there in the end to terminate the query. Okay. So we simply copy this and we paste it. Okay. Let me run this query. Select it and run. You could see an action output box, insert into student. This was successful. Once again run the query above, that is select star, which showed empty table last time. It won't show empty now. It shows table with 1 row. And for my friends who are coming here from IT, CS or any other related background, they might be wondering why roll number is not a primary key. I will set roll number as a primary key in the near future. There are many people here along with us who don't understand the primary key. That's why. Okay, of course you may be right in your opinion. रोल नंबर को प्राइमरी की होना चाहिए था, नहीं तो फिर 2 रोल नंबर 1 का रिकॉर्ड चला जाएगा. Okay, we'll learn about primary key, we'll learn about foreign keys very soon. Till then, let's work without them. Okay, now let me modify this query only. changing the values. 2 is say Jack, he's also in FIBCom. Run. Roll number 3, say he is Raj, he is also in FIBCom. Okay, so say run. Whether these 3 rows have been inserted also or not. Okay, 3 rows have been inserted also or not. Open the table and check once. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. John, Jack and Raj. The table has been created. It's a green signal in front of you. You want, you can close MySQL and go back to Python. क्योंकि जो टेबल या डेटाबेस चाहिए वो बनकर हो गए, रेडी है. Alright, fine. In one of the session coming up, I'm going to create table with primary foreign key relationship. Okay, to give you the real feel of the project, like a hospital management system. Of course, it will have more than one table: doctor table, patient table, appointment table, some room availability table, some other service availability table. So 3, 4, 5, 6 tables will together constitute a database, and this entire database will be retrieved by the Python program. Is that clear? Fine. So this much work is done. Now let's come to Python. Okay, I'm working in Python idle today. This is idle. I take a new file. Alright, friends, the package we require to write the Python code today is import mysql.connector. Right, if you can't read, let me write it on notepad first. That is mysql.connector. Okay, but the problem is this package is not, let me write it, import, like math, or maybe like string, or maybe like datetime. This package or this module is not already inbuilt in Python. You have to first install it. आपको पहले install करना पड़ता है. Now in my case it is already installed. आप कैसे install करेंगे देखिए. Fine. We have to open a command prompt. Alright, and we have to execute the command pip install name of the package. So mysql -connector -python. Okay, this is the name of the package, and what we have written behind while writing the code is the module, that is mysql.connector, which comes from this package only. Alright, but if I try to install, pip is a Python installer command, people, package installer command in Python. Okay, read it like this: pip, package installer in Python. पैकेज इंस्टॉलर इन पाइथन. pip कमांड से हम कोई भी पैकेज डाउनलोड करके इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं. हाँ, बट मेक श्योर व्हेन यू आर एग्जीक्यूटिंग द कमांड pip you are always connected to internet. You are always connected to internet. I hope you got that one. Because the package is searched on internet, it is downloaded and then installed. Okay. If I say enter, for me it shows. Let it go on. Okay, while it is working, let me check any doubt from your end. Okay, good. Good, people are good at it. Nice. Oh, good evening, Mudassara. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Alright, students, pip install MySQL connector. You look, it shows me that requirement already satisfied. Alright, it already satisfied. That means it is already installed. You can ignore all these. This is to upgrade pip. जब तक उसका जरूरत नहीं है तब तक हम ना भी करें तो भी चलेगा. ठीक है, आप कैसे करेंगे अगर दोबारा आपको रीइंस्टॉल करना है? रीइंस्टॉल करने का जरूरत नहीं है, बट आई एम स्टिल शोइंग यू लाइक दिस. Uninstall. I'm uninstalling the package from my system. Yes. Okay, and then again back install it. Okay, alright, you could see it was downloading first. It hardly took any time to download also. 1.9 MB per second का speed से. Total 7.9 MB का package it is. And it says me again that it has been successfully installed. कोई भी पैकेज PIP से इंस्टॉल हुआ या नहीं हुआ उसके लिए आप आइडल प्रॉम्प्ट पर चेक कर सकते हैं बाय इंपोर्टिंग इट. आप डायरेक्टली आइडल प्रॉम्प्ट पर चेक कर सकते हैं बाय इंपोर्टिंग. हाउ? हैव अ लुक. दिस इज आइडल. आई सिंपली राइट इंपोर्ट mysql.connector. Alright, it has been installed. I hope you can see that. mysql.connector. Fine. If you uninstall the package and you check whether it's there or not, this command is going to show you an error. Is that very clear to all of us? Fine. Okay. Anyways, coming back to the point. Fine. So very first thing to connect Python with SQL database is you first import this package which you just or recently installed. That is mysql.connector. अभी धीरे धीरे बात समझने की कोशिश करिए. इस पैकेज का या इस क्लास का एक फंक्शन होता है कनेक्ट. दैट इज द एक्चुअल हीरो ऑफ दिस मूवी. अंडरस्टैंड? 1-2 घंटे की मूवी का हीरो वो फंक्शन कनेक्ट है. बिकॉज MySQL connector dot connect is going to connect Python to MySQL database. Right? How? Have a look. Piece by piece in a broken manner I'm going to write the code and connect them all together in the end. Try. Okay, keep noting guys. I have instructed most of you right in the day 1 that keep noting the points in your notebook. You will never forget. Although you can watch the video anytime after the session, but still once written can't be forgotten. mysql.connector. Alright, mysql.connector.connect. 1 minute please. mysql.connector.connect. This function connect is going to accept at least 3 argument. Right? Connect function को हमें कम से कम 3 चीजें देनी इनपुट देना पड़ता है कनेक्ट करने के लिए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, होस्ट नेम ऑफ द सर्वर. What is the name of your MySQL server? If you have not set any name to the MySQL server at the time of installation, you just write localhost. Okay, because MySQL is practically client server architecture kind of software. So it will definitely ask you MySQL server कौन है. Localhost means what? Me, myself. You understood? Where is MySQL installed? Localhost, that means on the same system. If it's a remote host तो आपको बाजू वाले सिस्टम का नाम देना पड़ेगा. Of course आप नाम दे रहे हो तो फिर IP भी मैप करना पड़ता है, वो सब अलग बात है. So let us not make the story so complicated. Stick to the simple point. What is the name of the SQL server with whom you want to connect? अरे मुझे नाम पता कुछ तो बताइए सर्वर का जिससे कनेक्शन एस्टैब्लिश करना है. So name of the server is localhost. That is me myself. Alright. चलिए. It will ask you next question then. Python बोलेगा अरे भाई मैं आपके बताने पर आपके नाम बताने पर उस पते तक तो मैं पहुंच गया. But now when I knock the door, it is asking me to log in. That is, who are you? Is it right, people? If you try to open MySQL, it will ask you to log in first. So under MySQL, in whose account you want to log in? Whose account you want to connect to? Any answer for this question? आपकी तरफ से इस क्वेश्चन का कोई आंसर? MySQL में किसके अकाउंट से हमको कनेक्ट करना है? Day 16 डेटाबेस और उसके अंदर स्टूडेंट टेबल किसके अकाउंट में बनाया? Come on, anyone? Many of us are attending the class today. You created what should I say? Student table and day 16 database under whose account? Okay, there is a voice lagging happening, I think. No one? Okay, anyways, shall be still waiting for your reply. We actually created it under root account. Am I right? And who is root? Root is an administrator. Correct? Root is an administrator. Fine. Of course, if I try to log in as root, it will ask me for the password. So the password of root user is, in my case it is 1234. You will be writing your password. ठीक है, very soon I am going to teach you MySQL. MySQL के 8-10 सेशन आने वाले हैं जिसमें आप सारी PLSQL क्वेरी सीखेंगे along with MySQL installation. This password is set to administrator right at the time of installation. Correct? So there's 3 information minimum you have to give to connect function so that it can connect to MySQL and give you the control back. Alright, hoping you all are understanding. Please. ठीक है. अच्छा, अभी एक बात ध्यान रखिए. इनफैक्ट माई वेरी फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, द कनेक्ट फंक्शन ऑफ MySQL कनेक्टर क्लास, इट कनेक्ट्स टू respective MySQL and returns the connection detail back to the program. Alright, I repeat one more time. This function connects to MySQL database but returns the connection detail back to the program. You understand connection detail? That is actually the communication path now. Right? Communication link establish करता है और सारा डिटेल हम आपके प्रोग्राम को वापस लेकर आते हैं. If the function is returning something, we have to accept it in some variable. Right? Let me say I accepted in a variable called as ABC. Right? This is how it completes this full line of code. First import mysql.connector, उससे भी पहला PIP से उसको इंस्टॉल करना. Then connect function of mysql.connector will connect Python to MySQL. And after connecting Python to MySQL, the connection information is returned back, which we are storing it in a variable. I stored it in ABC. Alright, fine. Okay, let me copy these 2 lines of code because I am in Notepad here. Let me paste it. Okay, fine. Okay, let me save the program. I run this. Okay, the program executed, but there is no output. Of course, there won't be any output because we are not printing or redirecting anything on the screen. The output कैसा display करे फिर? You simply write print ABC. Whatever connection details were returned, let me print that detail on the screen. Of course, this detail is not understandable, but for some output to be there, I am showing you. Check it out. Could you see? That means the connection has been established. MySQL connection and all. This was that connection info. The live connection has been established to root account. Live connection has been established to root's account in MySQL. Administrator के account से connection establish हो गया भाई. This is what the detail or the return value wants to say. Please stop me immediately if you are not understanding. ये comment section में लिखकर बता दीजिए आपको क्या नहीं समझ रहा है. ठीक है, fine. Now the thing is what I want to open that database, right? Which database? Day 16. तो उसके लिए we have to write the 4th argument here, that is database is equal to day 16. Are you understanding the descending order hierarchy that we went? हम कैसा ऊपर से नीचे तक आए? How? First of all, name of the server. सर्वर का नाम, सर्वर में अकाउंट कौन सा है, अकाउंट में डेटाबेस कौन सा है. अभी नीचे बताएंगे डेटाबेस में से टेबल कौन सा है. Is it right? So that's called as in the descending hierarchy from top to bottom. Server, inside server account, under account database. So open the database, that is day 16. Alright, this is how the code will look like. What happened? Okay, let it be this way. Fine. Now to access table and to write any PLSQL query in Python, I repeat, to access the table, to open the table, or to write any PLSQL query in Python, we have to create something called as a cursor. Let me write this word here. Alright, people, imagine cursor is like that pointer who travels across the table and opens the row. Alright, fine. We are going to learn more about the cursor in the upcoming sessions of MySQL. As of now, you understand, see, this is a cursor waiting here, right? So if I want to come here, यहाँ पर मुझे आना है, तो आप यहाँ पर किसको लाते हो? ऊपर नीचे करके cursor से आते हो, correct? I want to go at the end of second line. So how will I do that? I come here, I move the cursor left, right, top, down. So I came here, correct? So this is the actual meaning of cursor. You have to create a cursor so that you can move row by row in the table. टेबल में ऐसे रो बाय रो हर अगले रो पर जाने के लिए डाउन 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 करते करते हर अगले रो पर जाने के लिए वो नेविगेशन टूल इज अ कर्सर. गॉट इट? फाइन. हाउ टू क्रिएट अ कर्सर यूजिंग दैट कनेक्ट का रिटर्न वैल्यू, बिकॉज cursor is to be created for the tables in database, right? अभी database का पूरा डिटेल किसके पास है, हमने किस में स्टोर किया? In ABC. You simply have to write like this: ABC dot cursor. Okay, and this is going to return a cursor object which I store in XYZ. Okay, so remember, using connect function we establish connection. And the connection details we have stored in, say, some variable ABC. Now this connection variable is only going to create a cursor. You want, you can print the details of the cursor also, although it's not going to make any sense, but this cursor is going to execute the further queries. एक बार cursor बन गया ना, फिर आप कोई भी query लिख सकते हो. How? Like this, using cursor function execute. Okay, any query, say select star from student. Are you understanding? Fine. So because you have to write cursor dot execute, so we first created the cursor using connection object ABC. connection object क्यों यूज करना पड़ा? क्योंकि connection detail तो अभी ABC में प्रेजेंट है, तो जिसके पास connection detail है cursor वही बना सकता है, और बनाया हुआ cursor we accepted in XYZ. Got it? Function return value. Alright, execute is a method of the cursor to execute PLSQL query. The only one query which I want to execute right now is select star from student. Alright, fine. Let me copy this program and let me paste into Python idle where we were working. Let me save this. Let me run this. Okay, no output because we are not again printing anything. अच्छा, अभी प्रिंट करने के लिए आप गलती से भी ऐसा मत समझना that we will write print XYZ. No, output is, you can never print the cursor as it is. You understood? Because this is my second important point now. It's okay if you have not understood anything in the previous section. I will be repeating it many times. ये सब हम फिर दोबारा करेंगे, 2-3 बार connectivity करेंगे. Got it? You try to check from your end that in first attempt how much you are getting it. Alright, let me check any question in the chat box. Okay, nothing as of now. Right. Anyways, guys, cursor, whenever it executes any PLSQL query, this is my second IMP point. Remember, जब भी cursor किसी query को execute करता है, it gets filled with the output of that query. Okay, imagine cursor looks like a pipe. It looks like a pipe, people, pipe or a pipeline. And whenever this pipe executes any query, it gets filled with the output. Alright, but you cannot display the output all at once. This pipe can flush only row by row. Alright, this pipe can flush the data row by row. Means इसके अंदर जो output store हुआ है, वो आप record by record ही बाहर लाके display कर सकते हैं. Understanding? One by one this output can be flushed out. I hope you got my point. Another example I give you, say there is a classroom where I am sitting. This is a classroom. This classroom has capacity of 60 students. 60 बच्चे ये रूम में बैठ सकते हैं. अरे but 60 cannot come in one go ना. Are you understanding? This in passage का entry point is of fixed width, correct? 60 people cannot come in one go inside. Maybe one at a time. Maximum 2 at a time. Are in the worst case 3 at a time. So similarly this story is applicable to the cursor also. सारा डेटा उसके अंदर है, बट आप एक साथ उसको फ्लश नहीं कर सकते हो. This data will come only row by row out. Am I right? Fine. So how to do that? We have to run for loop on the cursor like this. Say for I in XYZ. ये XYZ में जो भरा पड़ा है आउटपुट, XYZ में जो फिल हो गया भरा पड़ा है आउटपुट. So for every I in XYZ, what to do? Print I. Okay, now what will be every I in XYZ? It will be each record. Clear? Each I in each iteration in XYZ will be an individual record. So in the first loop, I will be record number 1. किधर गया workbench? देखते जाइए fast. This is workbench. See, first I will be record number 1. Alright. For loop will iterate to the second iteration. I ये हो जाएगा. For loop will iterate to the third iteration. I will go to, or cursor will go to record number 3. So for each I in XYZ, print I, where I will be the record in the cursor. I would be grateful to you if you could please acknowledge in the chat section. Are you understanding also or not? आपका हाँ या ना लिखना, it's very helpful to us. We get an idea audiences are getting clear with the picture or not. Okay, shall be waiting. Fine. Okay, how to do that? Let's come to idle prompt again. So for I in XYZ, what to do? Print I. Am I right? Just print I. So let me save this and let me run this. Okay, here we go. Can you see that output on the prompt? Fine. So 1 John, 2 Jack, 3 Raj. It's done. Alright. Now suppose you realize कि भाई मुझे एक और रो ऐड करना है, 2 रो और ऐड करना है. Roll number 4, which is say Mr. Ram, and row number 5, which is say Mr. Wilson. So how to do that? Come on, help. You people help me. We want to write a PLSQL query now. Thank you everyone who are answering here in the chat box. Thank you so much for that. Okay, yep. Thank you Sumit, thank you Kalyana. Okay, guys, how to write it? Fine. चलिए बताइए कैसे नया रिकॉर्ड यहाँ से ऐड करें. नहीं वर्कबेंच में जाके मत ऐड करना, पाइथन से डेटा ऐड करो और वर्कबेंच में चेक करो. Got it? How to do that? Come on. xyz.execute. If you find the font size small, let me write here first. XYZ means XYZ is a cursor who is going to access the table, right? So xyz.execute. Execute. What to execute? The query. Insert into student. Same. Query will be as it is, but the only thing is query should be written inside the execute function. So insert into student values. Say 4. Name of the student is Mr. Ram, and the class he studies is again first year BCom. Alright, it would be better if you use single quotes. Okay, the reason why, because even if it doesn't give you error, that's a precaution. Okay, double quote अगर आपने use किया ना तो हो सकता है ये पहला वाला opening quote इधर ही terminate हो जाए and it gives you an error. And if you doubt this way, then write this line in try block. Remember try except we learned yesterday. Exception handling कल सीखा था. For those who could not attend the class, try to go through the videos. You will find everything there. Although I'm going to come with lot of practice questions, that part is yet left from our side. Okay, fine. So insert into that student table these values: Ram, FI, BCom, and 4. Let's check. I copy this line of code and I paste it here. Okay, let me say paste or save and run. The thing is what, output will not come unless we do commit. xyz.execute commit. Alright, xyz.execute commit. Commit means what? After inserting, save the data. Right, so whenever you try to insert or whenever you try to update the value of the table, make sure after inserting or after updating, you have saved the changes. And how to save the changes in a PL/SQL or MySQL table? Using the query commit. Very soon, as I told you, we are going to start with MySQL. Therein I'll be teaching you in detail about commit and rollback. Fine. So xyz.execute commit. Hoping you are understanding. Okay. Acha. If you want, we will do one thing. This query, select star from student. Now we will run in the end because हमको रोल नंबर 4 के साथ डिस्प्ले करना है. आप पहले टेबल ओपन करेंगे, रिकॉर्ड बाद में इंसर्ट करेंगे तो नया चेंजेस दिखाएगा नहीं. Output will not reflect the newly inserted row because it was inserted after opening the table. Correct? Maybe next time if you run this program, it will show. So I saved. If you did not understand this point, ping me in the chat box. I'll explain you one more time. Okay, I say that. No result to fetch from. Okay, there is some error. Let me troubleshoot that. Oh, very bad. See, this for loop we are running up, but cursor has not executed any query to run the for loop, right? I cut the query from up and pasted it down. Cursor is not filled with any output to be displayed row by row, correct? बेहतर होगा इसको बाद में execute करें. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4. Why 2 times 4? Because I executed 2 times. आप जितनी बार execute करोगे उतनी बार ये row insert होता जाएगा. That's the reason primary key is important. Had roll number column been primary key of the table, we could have got rid of this issue. Okay, it won't have allowed roll number 4 ka record to be inserted second time because primary keys are always unique in the table. And anyways, we are not looking after this issue of primary key today, as we are going to learn primary key first before implementing it. So if I run this program one more time, again this code will execute and again roll number 4 का record will come, correct? अच्छा, और एक जगह जिधर पे आप चेक करोगे, please go to workbench. Go to workbench. Select star from student again. Alright, so all those rows have come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 4. Hoping you are understanding. Clear? Okay, now suppose I realize that roll number 2 Jack का data मुझे नहीं चाहिए, वो student छोड़ के चला गया and we want to delete that row. Okay, how can we do that? We simply write here xyz.execute delete from student. This is a query to delete a row. Delete. Drop मत use करना people. Don't use drop. Drop deletes the entire table completely. No, but we don't want to delete the table. We want to delete a single entity or a row from the table. Correct? Again in MySQL, we will learn the difference between deleting a row and deleting the table itself. So delete from student where that's a clause. Which row exactly you want to delete? Sorry for that. Fine. So delete from student where roll number is equal to 2. Okay. Let's see. Control C, Control V. Before I say select star from. I save this, I run this. Okay, you could see the data here. Roll number 1 is there, roll number 3 is there, but roll number 2 is missing, and of course roll number 4 is happening 4 times. The same thing you will also find in your workbench. Correct? आप इसको workbench में भी देखोगे. Again run the query. Okay, the reason why, because I did commit before, am I right? See, workbench is not reflecting. वर्कबेंच में रोल नंबर 2 अभी भी बता रहा है. क्यों बता रहा है? क्योंकि आपने डिलीट तो कर दिया बट उसके बाद में कमिट नहीं किया, राइट? सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो लेट मी कमिट इट आफ्टर डिलीटिंग एंड इंसर्टिंग. कमिट शुड बी आइडियली द लास्ट स्टेटमेंट. सब कुछ अपडेट, डिलीट, इंसर्ट करने के बाद सेव, मेक श्योर, राइट? सो लेट मी सेव दिस, लेट मी रन दिस. And if I could come here in workbench and execute it, yeah, roll number 1 is there, roll number 3 is there, but roll number 2 is missing because it has been deleted from the table. Alright, are you understanding? Sumit ma'am, in this can you please show how to, yep. Okay Sumit, I'll show you how to alter the row. Okay, you want me to alter the row. I hope deleting is been answered, correct Sumit? If I'm not wrong, delete कैसे करना है, that has been answered. To your question, how to alter the row, let me tell you one thing very clearly. The rows are updated, tables are altered. Okay, there is a difference between alter and there is a difference between update. तो आप जो बता रहे रो को alter नहीं किया जाता है, रो update होता है. जैसे के से roll number 1 का name, I think it is not John, it should be Johnson. वो मैंने गलती से जॉन लिख दिया, उसे तो जॉनसन होना चाहिए था. तो कैसे लिखेंगे, देखिए कैसे लिखेंगे. xyz डॉट एग्जीक्यूट अपडेट टेबल स्टूडेंट सेट. फॉर दिस वी नीड टू नो द अपडेट क्वेरी सिंटैक्स. अपडेट कैसा होता है, आई एम गोइंग टू सून शो यू इन द CRUD ऑपरेशंस when we will start learning MySQL. Okay, यहाँ पर बहुत से लोग हैं जिनको अभी तक MySQL आता ही नहीं. That's the reason I prevented to use it. But good question, in fact, how to update the data with Python. So update table to student, set student name as Johnson, where roll number is equal to 1. Because there can be more than one John, am I right? क्लास में 5 सुमित है, आप समझ रहे बात. तो मुझे किस सुमित का नाम चेंज करना है जिसका रोल नंबर 2 है या 1 है, बिकॉज 5 सुमित के रोल नंबर तो सेम नहीं होंगे, रोल नंबर बीइंग अ प्राइमरी की. दैट्स माय अजम्पशन, वी हैव नॉट डिक्लेयर्ड, वो अलग बात है, राइट? सो अपडेट टेबल स्टूडेंट सेट नेम एज जॉनसन वेयर रोल नंबर इज 1. ओके, लेट मी रन दिस क्वेरी फॉर यू. सो दिस इज आइडल प्रॉम्प्ट. Before I do commit, let me paste it. Okay, I don't want to do delete. अभी delete करने जाओगे तो error देगा, that is roll number 2 not found, it's already deleted, right? तो delete वाला कोड हमने कमेंट कर दिया, update वाला कोड ऐड किया before committing. Run. Yeah, I want to save. I hope roll number 1 is there, right? Yes. Okay, my mistake it was. You could see the Johnson is here now. What was the mistake? Did you notice? I wrote here update table. I meant to say just table name. वो गलती से लिखा था. So update student set name to Johnson where roll number is 1. You can change the roll number also. Okay. So if you could see the workbench now, refresh it. So roll number 1 is no more John. Roll number 1 is Johnson. Hoping you are. If there are more than one John or more than one roll number 1, सबका change हो जाएगा. याद रखिए. जैसे कि मुझे राम की क्लास चेंज करना है. राम इज नॉट इन FY BCom, राम इज इन TY BCom. तो कैसा क्वेरी लिखेंगे बताइए? हाउ विल यू राइट द क्वेरी? xyz डॉट एग्जीक्यूट ओके, अपडेट स्टूडेंट सेट S class, student class column की value to TYBCom, BCom, yeah, where roll number equals 4, but there are so many roll number 4. You getting my point? So many roll, of course, ऐसा ही होगा फिर. Say wherever the city name is Mumbai, change pin code to 400001, something like that. So all the records where city is Mumbai, pin code will be updated. Am I right? Unless it's a primary key, remember that. So if I could do like this, run, got my point. All of them have been updated to TYBCom. Check it out here as well. Right, so all these RAMs have been updated to TYBCom. Is that clear? Hope your question is answered. Ma'am, can you please also show the query of it, and else we can expect it less? If not, give us one example. Yes, Sumit, I think I gave you example of the update. Is this the same you are asking, right? If you could acknowledge to me in the chat box, like it would be great. Update, यही आप पूछ रहे थे ना, how to update? There's voice lagging happening, I think. Yeah, I think example, the given example, is it clear now? Or you want some more example or some other question you're asking? This is how we alter the data of the row. See, I altered, no ma'am. Okay, good, thank you. Fine. Okay, just write me in the chat box, is your query clear or not, or you want me to show you do something else. Okay, your question has been answered or not, that much, because your satisfaction is our aim. If and else example in this. Okay, good. If and else example we will be doing soon with the MySQL after learning the procedures. Can we expect such type of question? Of course, Sumit, yes, why not? Understood. For example, let me tell you, for example, say my table student has one column called as marks. Okay, Sumit is right in his way. There is a table called as a marks table, where there is a grand total of everyone's marks, but Python program has to calculate grade based on marks. Okay, say if marks is more than grand total out of 1000, if it is more than 700, I will give you A grade. If grand total is more than 500 but less than 700, 500 से 700 के बीच में, so I will give you B grade. And if it is less than 500, so I am going to give you C grade. So in that case, Sumit, we have to run if else on PLSQL data. Alright, you are right, correct. We will be doing that. So that is possible. You can expect that kind of scenarios happening in terms of connectivity. Right? Good question. Once we learn writing procedures and if else and for loops with MySQL, learning, understanding that part also would become easier. Okay, fine. Now tell me, is your question answered? Updating clear? Right? With respect to if else, for loop, SQL procedure, SQL functions, these all will come one by one. Okay, fine. Okay, put it in the chat box. I'll be waiting for your reply. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, good. Right? We'll be doing everything. Don't worry for that. Everything lined up. If you could see my 40-day schedule, we have got everything with respect to MySQL covering in Python. Alright, because our ultimate aim is to build a project that can communicate with the database. Alright, fine. Okay, even tomorrow we will be continuing with MySQL and Python. That will be part 2, where I will be performing operations upon table that has primary keys and foreign keys. Right, primary keys with foreign keys. Anyways, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. We started with MySQL. We learned something about workbench. We learned how to create a schema, that is database, and a table in the workbench. We learned how to insert row and how to open the table in the workbench. Right? Post that, we installed a package called as MySQL Python, MySQL connector Python using pip command in command prompt. We imported that package. that is mysql.connector. We immediately use the connect function of it to establish connection to MySQL. While establishing connection to MySQL, we need at least 3 arguments, that is host name, username and password. Last 1 minute please. Host name, username and the password. Right, post that we created a cursor also. Cursor people. Cursor is used to move the record. It helps us to move in the table row by row or record by record. We learn how to insert a row in the table using Python code or using cursor. How to update the row in the table and how to delete a row in the table. Now when I see you tomorrow back on day 17 of the bootcamp, day 17, we will first be continuing with the first half. We will be continuing with MySQL Python connectivity. Second half tomorrow I will go to web scraping. People, web scraping, that's very interesting. How to take data from internet and paste it in the project. Internet से data हमको कैसे उठाना होता है. How to convert data from one format to another format. That is already available on internet. Web scraping. You also keep some R&D about scraping done. What is web scraping? How it is so useful, and whether it is legal or it is illegal. Right? Hoping you are understanding. Right? I just give you a rough idea what we are left with. That will be tomorrow's session of MySQL and web scraping. उसके बाद में हम मिलेंगे सैटरडे या संडे को होगा या नहीं. I will inform you tomorrow only. Okay, after day 17, day 18 will be for regular expression. Right? Day 19 will be for NumPy. Day 20 will be for pandas. Okay, so we will be exploring NumPys and pandas into good broad depth. Make sure that you're present. You make your time out for NumPys, for pandas. That's very, very helpful for analytics. Fine. After these Python sessions are ended, before I start with MySQL and Tableau, right? MySQL or Tableau start होने से पहला, we will be creating one game kind of application in Python. Maybe it's a tic-tac-toe game, or maybe it is a ping-pong game, table tennis game. Alright, so that you get a good confidence how to build an entire complete project. Alright, if time permits, it's possible. Maybe some other simple projects like a library management system or a hospital management system, we will also give our hands on if time permits. Alright, fine. Anyways, if you do not have any doubt or any query, please give us time to bid you goodbye and see you back tomorrow. And if you really feel that our work has helped you, kindly like our videos. Please ask other of your friends also to subscribe to the channel. Let the word be spread to everyone, as it is absolutely free. Okay, goodbye. Take care. See you back tomorrow sharp at 6 p.m. again.